This Civic Media podcast is sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. Organ donations are desperately needed, and now is the right time to become an organ donor. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Go to heroicdeed.com.
This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. Law enforcement authorities are working to track down two suspects accused of committing thousands of dollars of credit fraud. According to the Sawyer County Sheriff's Office, the suspects allegedly spent $1,600 at a Price Right, $1,800 at a Marketplace, and $1,800 at Hayward Bait and Tackle. Authorities also believe the suspects may have used the card in Ashland and Michigan. Pictures of the suspects are available on the Sheriff's Office website, and anyone with information should contact authorities. Duluth Public Schools are planning to cut an additional $5 million from their budget with layoffs expected. According to school officials, a referendum that narrowly failed in May would have increased the district's budget by over $5 million each year for the next 10 years. The funding would have been used to improve technology, infrastructure, and security. Without it, the district is planning an 8% cut to staffing budgets, a 3.5% cut to special education, and a 10% cut to the district service center staffing budget. The Salvation Army officially began their Red Kettle campaign in Duluth last week at the Red Kettle Carnival. The yearly campaign seeks to provide those in need with food and toys for kids during the holiday season. The event was held at Bentleyville, giving residents a chance to drop off much-needed supplies while participating in classic holiday activities. Area residents should start seeing more of the Red Kettle campaign events in the coming weeks, and anyone interested in donating or volunteering can do so on the Salvation Army website. The City of Duluth will hold another public meeting on the West Superior Street reconstruction project this week. The project's construction timeline runs 3 years from 2025 to 2028 and will see a full overhaul of the road, utility infrastructure, and pedestrian walkways. The final public meeting on the project will be held at Clyde Ironworks on Wednesday night, where officials will share more information on design specifics, construction phases, and the impact the project will have on the area. Those updates will also be available online. Wisconsin State Superintendent Dr. Jill Underly is proposing a massive increase in school spending in the next budget after over 100 districts turned to ballot referendums last week. Education officials say widespread referendums prove that schools are consistently underfunded, and Dr. Underly is proposing an over $4 billion increase. The proposal would increase per-pupil revenue limits, provide more reimbursements for special education, and limit property tax increases to an average of 1.5% over the 2 years. A Minnesota teen was killed when his kayak overturned in Barron County over the weekend. According to the Barron County Sheriff's Office, the teen was kayaking on Kirby Lake when he capsized a little after noon on Saturday. When authorities arrived, they found two people in the water who said a third person had gone under but didn't come back up. Authorities used sonar and divers to find the teenager and began life-saving measures. He was flown to a hospital in Minnesota but died on Sunday as a result of his injuries. A Rice Lake woman has settled 2 tickets after hitting another vehicle head-on and killing the driver. According to the Wisconsin State Patrol, the crash happened in a construction zone on Highway 53 in August. Traffic on the road was going in each direction in the northbound lanes due to the construction work, with orange posts down the center line. The woman was ticketed for passing in a no-passing zone, resulting in death, and operating left of center, resulting in death, to which she entered a no-contest plea. Criminal charges are still possible. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is warning residents that a couple of new invasive species may be heading this way. According to a Facebook post, the DNR is warning about the hemlock woolly and balsam woolly adelgid moving through Michigan. The insects have not been found in Wisconsin yet, but residents should be on the lookout as they target hemlock and fir trees. An infected tree would look stunted with swollen branches, as the insects use toxic saliva on the trees that also causes needles to become discolored and fall. Wisconsin healthcare providers say they've had to ration IV fluids due to damage caused by Hurricane Helene weeks ago. According to health officials, a number of hospitals used IV fluids that were manufactured in a North Carolina plant that suffered severe damage in the storm. Without reliable access to the IV fluids, hospitals have started to manage their supplies more closely and in some cases consider whether a patient really does need IV fluids. They say so far, hospital systems have managed to keep up with patient needs with less supply. Wisconsin residents may have another chance to catch the northern lights early this week. Thanks to ongoing geomagnetic storms caused by the sun's normal 11-year cycle, residents have already had a few chances to get a really good look at the aurora borealis spectacle. Conditions on Monday and Tuesday night this week give residents another chance to catch the northern lights, with Tuesday's display expected to be slightly stronger. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration officials say the peak times are between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
It's award season in the MLB. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kuska filling in for Mike Clemens for Civic Media Sports. Milwaukee Brewers manager Pat Murphy and rookie standout Jackson Chourio are up for some hardware. Murphy was named as one of 3 finalists for the National League Manager of the Year. The other finalists are San Diego's Mike Schilt and New York's Carlos Mendoza. Chourio is up for Rookie of the Year along with Paul Skeens of Pittsburgh and Jackson Merrill of San Diego. The awards will be announced next week. Tonight, the 2-8 Bucks take on the 2-9 Toronto Raptors, who own the NBA's worst record. Damian Lillard says the Bucks are working hard to get back on track.
You want to win, especially a situation that we're in where you want to win games, you want to protect your home floor. We came out and, we had control of the game. We just got to be able to sustain what we were doing and understand what we did well, and not have lapses and let-ups and give teams life.
Doc Rivers says the Bucks are working to turn things around.
Well, we just got to dig ourselves out of this hole that we're creating. We created it, all of us, me, them, together. I have no doubt we will. But it's not one night. We'd have won the night. We still weren't going to be in the hole. We have to play ourselves out of this hole.
The losing team tonight will have the NBA's worst record. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. at Fiserv Forum. This Saturday, the Wisconsin Badgers will host the undefeated Oregon Ducks at Camp Randall Stadium. Coach Luke Fickell says the bye week helped them in preparing for the big game.
The whole idea of get it to the fourth quarter and put ourselves in a position where we feel like we can excel and execute in the fourth. So that's difficult when your plan kind of falls into place and those guys recognize it, and then you're not able to finish the plan and execute the plan. We know that, but that's where we've got to make sure that we got to go back to what it is that we do and continue to climb this mountain to get better.
Kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. Saturday. The Badgers are 5-4 and need a win over their final 3 games in order to become bowl eligible. For Civic Media Sports, I'm Jimmy Kuska.
Mostly sunny today. It will become a little breezy by late this afternoon and especially into this evening. Our high today in the upper 40s to near 50. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy in the mid to upper 30s. Tomorrow, cloudy with scattered rain and a high in the mid to upper 40s. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Temperature now 30.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.